Time. It flies when you're having fun. But it also killed Peepaw. Every March and November, we try to control it.
Daylight saving time is about to begin.
Remember, we fall back tomorrow night, set the clocks back.
Bringing forward, and I hate it.
Back 1 hour.
Why do we change our clocks? And does it do more harm than good? Well, as I found out, if you screw with time, who are you? It just might screw you back. Arizona. It's one of America's top states, alphabetically. But more importantly, their clocks play by their own rules.
Arizona has opted out of daylight saving time.
They stick to standard time all year.
So I'm here in Cactus Country to find out how these time bandits can even function living outside of normal time.
How has living without daylight saving time completely messed up your life?
I feel like everybody else is all messed up because I've never turned my clock back. I never have to worry about it. I guess it's like the Wild West.
Does that explain your mustache?
I don't know what explains this.
I love the fact that I don't have to worry about changing the clocks.
Don't you feel like you're missing out being an hour behind the rest of the country?
No, that's all right. We'll catch up.
You won't catch up. You're always an hour behind.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see it as living in the past. I only see it as living in the present. It's their future and not my past, because my past is then their past.
I'm sorry, what?
Arizonans seemed happy with their own time laws, not to mention their access to primo desert drugs. But if they were unaffected by not changing their clocks, why do the rest of us do it? I sat down with clock blocker Scott Yates, who's on a mission to permanently stop clock changing.
I'm the leader of the Lock the Clock movement, trying to stop people from having to change the clocks twice a year.
But isn't it a good thing to set the clocks forward an hour and gain that extra hour of sunlight?
People in general like that extra hour of sunlight, but for some people, it's really deadly. Traffic accidents go up, strokes, heart attacks. More people actually just die in the few days after the spring forward time change.
Wow. I guess for some people, time is up.
Solid jokes aside, if this is literally killing people, there has to be a good argument for it.
There really isn't any argument to change the clock twice a year.
Well, no, there is. The farmers.
No, the whole story about the farmers, it's the biggest PR con job ever. The farmers have always been against changing the clocks for daylight saving time. And they've been like, hey, stop blaming us. We don't have anything to do with this.
The old blame the farmer trope. No, honey, I did not have sex with my yoga instructor. It was the farmer. Who I had sex with. Why do we even have daylight savings time? Or is it daylight saving times?
Daylight saving time.
Times.
No S's. Daylight saving time.
Got it. Daytime save light time.
Well, it was first proposed here in the United States by a retailer that found that if there's more sunlight, people would have more time to shop.
This all started from a retailer?
Well, he came up with the name daylight saving time, but it actually started during World War I. The Germans started doing it, and then the Brits, and then the US followed suit after that. It was called wartime.
Such a German thing to do to make people lose an hour.
After the war, we stopped doing it because everybody hated it. And then in the 60s, the golf industry became a really big industry. So golf lobbyists were able to convince politicians that we should have daylight saving time so that there's more time to play golf after work.
Wait, the golf lobby?
Yeah, that's right. They make hundreds of millions of dollars for every extra month that the country is in daylight saving time. And then the candy lobbyists went to Congress and said we should have daylight saving time extend into the first weekend of November. And that way, on Halloween, they sell more candy.
All right, wartime, golfers, and now candy men are the reason behind DST? Where does that leave us now?
Things are actually really improving. There's a bill that has both Republican and Democrat support to actually make the change to the law so that the states can go on permanent daylight saving time.
So it's a bipartisan issue?
It's totally bipartisan.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard that from anybody before.
Well, the basic idea of time is really just an agreement. We all have to come together to decide when 10 a.m. is. And that agreement shouldn't kill people.
Wait, time is an agreement? What even is time? When is time? Who is time? Why is time? What?
Can I go now?
The deeper I traveled into daylight saving, the deeper I got lost in what time even was.
Time is a construct, right?
Time is, it's now, it's before, it's later.
I'm in their past, but it's my future.
And if some states change the clocks and Arizona doesn't, could space and time invert on themselves?
Who are you? Better question is, when am I? Future me? Yeah, I'm you during daytime, save light time. Hold on a second. This is me in an hour? Yeah, this whole changing the clocks thing is really up. God damn it. If we would just lock the clocks, this whole thing would never happen.
Ah, yes, the McFly paradox. I knew exactly what to ask me.
You want a 69? Yeah, okay.
Either America needs to lock the clocks, or I need to stop doing peyote on work trips.
Arizona is the most die-hard red state in the Southwest, but a new Democratic candidate is using a radical approach to take back the governor's seat.
Meet Noah Dyer, in many ways a typical Democrat.
The most important things are that we reform education, immigration, healthcare.
But what sets his campaign apart is his goal of cleaning up the cesspool of political scandal and controversy that's taken over Arizona politics.
I'm a politician who's going to give people the whole truth. I've been totally honest and transparent from day one.
Wow, I appreciate the honesty thing.
And he means totally honest.
When I launched my campaign, I revealed everything that I've done. There's a statement on my website that reveals that I've had a lot of casual sex and sex with married women.
Come again?
I've had a lot of sex with married women.
Sorry, tell me again, what office are you running for?
Governor of Arizona.
You know that we're recording this.
I've had a lot of sex. I intend to keep having sex.
It's not that kind of show, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But like specifically what sex stuff?
Group sex with lots of people,
Okay.
and I think
Say
that's
no
it.
more.
Text sex, and I've recorded video during sex. Sometimes it's just a 8-second video, and other times it can go on for quite some time.
Turns out this guy was totally for real, and the press poured out love for his unconventional campaign.
He is tapping into something really important when it comes to campaigning in an authentic way.
Everybody can appreciate somebody that's an open book.
Of course, Dyer's open book has some pages stuck together, but he's hoping to get through the steamy chapters pretty quickly.
I don't actually want to talk about my sex life. I've just shared it at the get-go so that we can not talk about it.
But there's a tab on your website about it.
Right.
But if he's gonna defeat incumbent Doug Ducey, Dyer's gonna need a few other tabs.
Do you have anything else going on in your life to distract people from all the sex stuff?
Sure.
What?
I've got an example of a speech here that I gave in a legislative district meeting.
Great.
Doug Ducey has made alliances with selfish business and political leaders that rape Arizona's most vulnerable communities. When their policies rape our public school students and teachers, when they rape our LGBTQ community, and when they rape our poor, they call it job creation.
That's good. I'll take that. Okay. Do all your speeches have that much rape in them?
My intention was to really make people feel that these policies are bad.
I'd scale back like 100% on the rape.
This guy has to spend some time not campaigning with this dick. What makes him electable?
You know, I guess I speak Spanish, and I included that as part of my campaign because it's legitimately who I am.
Me gusta.
Pues, que bien.
Didn't follow that, but
you know, I guess I'm a hobby stage hypnotist.
You're a hypnotist?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a Republican governor for a long time.
I don't think so. I'm telling you that I see a lot of people who are excited about this campaign, and we're gonna do better than the odds predict.
So I tagged along as Dyer tried to show me his fired up electorate.
I'm Noah Dyer. I'm running for governor of Arizona. Part of my thing is honesty. I found that a lot of people don't think politicians can be trusted.
He's had group sex.
I have had group sex. Could you vote for somebody that's had group sex before?
No. I don't know if I want a governor who's having group sex. Why would you disclose that?
But they weren't exactly on board.
Do you feel like you could trust me more because I've been honest with that up front?
Oh, yes.
But you're not gonna vote for him.
Probably not. No.
It's pretty close to a no at this point.
Clearly, Dyer couldn't get elected on his own. So I brought my fancy New York camera crew out to the desert to help him out with his first campaign commercial. All he had to do was steer clear of the sex stuff and be normal.
Think just empty patriotism and, oh, your wife. Right here. Perfect.
My name's Noah Dyer, and I'm running for governor of Arizona. I've had lots of sex, including casual sex and group sex that I've even recorded.
Cut. Yeah, okay, can you do that again, but without mentioning sex 7 times? Action.
My name's Noah Dyer, and I'm running for governor of Arizona. I want you to know that I'm going to be an honest and transparent politician.
Once Dyer finally dropped all the sex stuff, he was actually pretty electable. So forget transparency. We all want to have group sex. We just don't want our governors having group sex. Or something. I don't know. I need a drink.
I actually don't drink.
What?
I have actually never had a drink.
Wait, you have sex sober?
Yes.
That is the most up thing I've ever heard.
Good luck, Arizona. You're gonna need it.
Last week, I traveled to a sweltering Arizona, where Republican state senators are auditing results of the 2020 election in a giant arena next to an actual carnival. Sure, there's already been 2 audits and a recount, and it's 101 goddamn degrees out, but there are still men like this ready to throw their support behind election integrity.
I've been here all week, and I'll be here until the audit's done, is my plan. So what's going on right back here is the most important thing going on in our country right now.
What do you have there on your hip?
Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum. There has been word that Antifa and BLM may be coming in, so they're trying to be careful and secure the premises.
Have you seen any signs of Antifa?
You guys have probably heard about the carnival that's going on here. There's a little concern about whether or not that would provide those kind of folks an opportunity to come in and try to infiltrate and get access.
So there is some fear that BLM might meet behind a tilt-a-whirl, organize, and then bum rush the situation.
Bad people can do bad things, and I'm not going to say what they may try to do.
Outside of possible Antifa carnies, which was laid out in official documents outlining potential security threats, what's the harm in one more recount?
I know that it's comical to watch what's happening here in Arizona, but I think that it is also important to note that this is really dangerous to our democracy. And you know what? We saw how dangerous the post-election misinformation was. This is a group of people who are clearly partisan. It is headed by a company that has no auditing or election experience, and they're making up the rules as they go along.
So who's running the audit?
Cyber ninjas.
Did you say cyber ninjas?
I did say cyber ninjas.
Is it run by a 12-year-old boy?
It sounds like it, right?
While the Cyber Ninjas website looks like the invitation to my 9th birthday party, we must not judge audit companies by their splash page. But you give it to the pros. Let the pros handle this.
These are not pros.
Well, they're cyber ninjas. That takes some amount of training, I assume.
Their firm has nothing to do with audits or elections.
Well, maybe they're newish to it. How many audits have they done?
None.
They've never done an audit?
No.
Well, I mean, give them a wide berth, right? First job, you want to root. Sometimes you make some mistakes with your first job. I remember my first job, I burned a lot of hamburgers.
You know,
and I worked at a TJ Maxx.
There are a lot of Arizona voters who are very, very concerned about this, and I don't think they like the idea of their ballots, their election being in the hands of these rookies.
Turns out the audit has had some issues in the trust department, starting with Cyber Ninja's conspiracy theorist CEO, an auditor who attended the January 6th insurrection, and mysterious UV lights used to look for Chinese bamboo in paper ballots. Really? To help clear the air, I talked to John Brakey and Ken Bennett, who are inside working on the audit.
There's been so many bizarre stories going on through the media.
You can have some pretty far-fetched ideas on both sides, and what we're doing is simply proving or disproving as many of those as we can.
Speaking as somebody on the outside, this feels like it's just feeding into conspiratorial thinking.
We're mythbusters.
Great.
Okay? We're doing things we think are foolish, but people believe it's real.
What is this I hear of a UV light?
There was a UV light that was being used to supposedly check for watermarks in the ballot.
I want to follow up on this. Bamboo?
Bizarre, huh? That's because Southeast Asia has uses bamboo in their paper, supposedly, okay? We're myth-busting.
But are you looking for traces of bamboo using
We're looking
UV
for
light?
everything in there.
So that's a yes?
We're looking to disprove that it is not there.
Some people believe that paper from outside of the authentic ballot paper that should have been part of the Maricopa audit got introduced into the system and might be the paper on which 40,000 people cast illegitimate votes.
All Chinese ballots are on bamboo?
Yeah.
Is it because soy sauce would be too obviously racist?
Oh my goodness.
Is there a chance people believe this because people add fuel to the fire by elevating this and therefore letting that be part of the conversation?
If we validate that something they think might have happened didn't happen, then we're not throwing fuel on the fire.
Are you looking into the Hungarian vector?
I didn't know about that one.
The Hungarian vector.
It's a bullshit thing I just made up that sounds cool and a little bit spooky. I was fortunate enough to see the operation firsthand, and the people led by the cyber ninjas were definitely counting and observing. But there is still one thing that can at least temporarily derail this audit: teenagers.
We've known from the very beginning that there's some high school graduations coming in 2 weeks. So we'll have to step aside for about a week while the graduations occur.
You don't have a place to count the ballots in 2 weeks?
No, just for 1 week, we're going to shut down.
We'll secure the ballots, and then when the graduations are over, we'll come back and
This is not a joke.
I know it's not a joke, but you want us to trust you, but you're like, we're going to lock the ballots in there and then let a bunch of teenagers come through for a week, and then we'll start counting again?
No, that is not a case at all.
Secure the ballots, right.
Come on, let's get
Yep.
serious.
No, I got it. No, it's serious. Let's be serious.
This is a very serious subject.
It's very serious.
Okay, so it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Let's go back to the bamboo talking. But it's not a joke. Until we settle the very serious bamboo situation, you can find me in a place that's run by professionals not attempting to thwart our democracy. The other carnival.
Wildfires, flash floods, and a dramatically shortened cuffing season. Climate change is affecting America, and nowhere more than Phoenix, Arizona.
In Phoenix, they say it's too hot to fly.
44 people had to be rescued.
Arizona officials are urging locals to avoid hiking during extreme heat.
So I headed to Arizona to find out for myself just how bad the heat can get. To explain the science behind my sweaty balls, I met with climate expert Brian Stone.
Climate change is very much happening today and has been with us for many decades already. If you are under the age of 34 today, every month of your life has been.
I'm under 34.
Every month of your life has been in a climate that is much warmer than we've seen for thousands of years.
Is that how old you are? And third-degree burns like that are becoming the new normal here in Phoenix.
You're seeing 100 days a year with temperatures over 100 degrees.
And there have been many warnings for us that we haven't listened to leading up until this point, right?
Yeah.
Nellie has been warning us about Phoenix since 2003.
I really don't know anything about that.
Hot in her. It was sort of like this pleading cry to the public, like, it's getting hot in here, please.
Yeah.
Take off all your clothes.
Yeah.
And we didn't listen.
Maybe.
Brian walked me through some of Phoenix's new climate adaptations, like smooth, reflective surfaces and, of course, landscaping. But the biggest change? Arizona is shifting daytime activities to night. That's right, it's gotten so hot that jogging, hiking, and even construction work are now happening after hours. What? So I went to do one of my favorite things, hang out with a bunch of guys laying pipe.
Do you do construction at night because it's more fun?
We do construction at night because it's safer. The Arizona temperatures are just too hard on the guys. If you're not prepared, well hydrated, you're gonna end up in the hospital getting IVs ran to you.
Ugh, gross. But when the sun goes down, things at the concrete pour do get a little freaky.
See the guy, he's got a vibrator on his back, and that concrete's liquid, and it vibrates the concrete, and it goes and surrounds all the rebar.
He has a vibrator on his back?
That machine right there.
Does he like clean it off before he comes to work?
Put the oil on it.
Right. Just want to make sure that we're being sanitary.
Absolutely.
But it's not all pleasuring concrete bridges to completion. Working at night can affect cognitive performance and lead to tragic accidents.
I can't find I think my phone is in there.
Climate change hasn't just affected these sex-positive village people-style jobs. It's also changing the way that people have fun. So I met up with the Arizona Trailblazers Hiking Club for a night hike.
Here's a black light for you. You can use this to try to look and see if there's any critters, scorpions, snakes.
What?
Yeah, there's lots of wildlife in these. in the floor around
You
us.
said, sorry, repeat that, sorry. What was that?
Scorpions. We can look for them using these black lights.
Okay, first of all, terrifying. Second, scorpions glow under black lights? I have some questions.
Why do they glow? Is it because they're covered in
I don't believe that's the reason.
And these scorpions were ready to pop off.
He's pointing his tail at you. I think you've really angered him.
Oh my God, I thought he was waving. Because he's such a little guy, he probably doesn't have venom yet, right?
Oh no, that's the worst kind. The smaller scorpions are more venomous than the larger species.
Gary, stop.
Here's another, it's real
Stop. Oh my God, he picked it up. He picked it up. Gary, no.
Yeah,
Gary, stop!
What?
Stop!
What?
Gary, stop playing!
I hope he comes back.
Lost in the Arizona desert. It felt like things couldn't get any worse.
Oh my God. One reply on my scorpion video! Mountain Lion, come get me now!
But when the sun finally rose, I saw how beautiful Arizona looked without an iPhone flashlight on it. Must have been cool to hang out here without dying of heat stroke. Climate change might be in Arizona today, but it's coming for the rest of America. Luckily, I knew just the plan to get the government to take serious action.
I've released 100 scorpions into these chambers, and the doors are locked until you pass comprehensive climate reform. No, I don't know why they're covered in
If you're gonna talk about Arizona, you have to talk about old people because they're everywhere here. See? Which brings me to death. No, not yours. Obviously, you still have a long road ahead of you.
And here in Arizona, people thinking about the afterlife are choosing something new: whole body donation.
More and more people are choosing to forego traditional burial and just donate their bodies to science.
There was a 20% increase in the number of people donating their body. Right here in Arizona, that's about 47,000 people.
To investigate, I hit up a popular spot for the old folks to see if body donation really was all the rage.
What do you want to happen to your body after you die?
I'd consider whole body donation.
Have you considered whole body donation?
Yes, I have it already set up.
So you seem pretty old and close to death. What do you want to happen to you after you die?
I'm donating it to science.
What made you think of doing that?
I have no living relatives. Who's gonna bury me?
Do you have any friends?
Yeah, they don't care about my body.
Well, maybe they should care, because when I turned on the news, I discovered this.
Scandal involving a body donation business in Phoenix. The owner accused of selling bodies and body parts.
Essentially running a chop shop for human body parts.
A human chop shop? These were people, not cars you strip down for parts. I turned to a team of lawyers trying to end this horror.
So what the is happening in Arizona?
People are getting people to donate their bodies and telling them that they're going to treat the bodies with dignity and respect.
And they were sold off like you would sell off the parts of a cow.
And then ultimately the FBI raided this organization here in Arizona.
So what did the FBI find?
There were coolers and freezers of disarticulated body parts. You know, a cooler of arms, a cooler of legs.
They found heads.
They found the torso of a large human male with the head of a small female sewn on the top.
All right, okay, we get it. Enough already. Jesus. Anyone here have a puppy I can pet for 10 seconds just to clear my head?
And they found a giant bag of penises.
They found a bag of dicks.
Yes, it was referred to as a large bag of male genitalia.
So it's a large bag of dicks?
Yes.
I'm scared to even ask, but what were they gonna do with this large bag of dicks?
Well, we really can only speculate. We know that some of it may have gone to the black market in Southeast Asia for something like penis wine.
Okay, I'm from Southeast Asia. I've never heard of penis wine. What is it?
I think it's wine that has a penis in it that's supposed to make people more virile.
That is disgusting.
I thought so.
Is it red or white?
I really didn't get close enough to it to even.
What kind of flavor profile is this? Is it nutty?
I didn't taste it.
Does it have notes of foreskin?
Can we move on? This is a serious case.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Holly. We're just going to mention penis wine and not talk about it.
Well, this case is about the harm that was done to people and families, not about penis wine.
She's right. People thought they were donating their bodies for research to find cures for diseases, but instead it was real-life invasion of the body snatchers. How are they gonna fix this?
We need regulations, licenses, for example.
You don't need a license to deal with dead bodies.
Correct.
You need a license to do nails. You need a license to fish. You need a license to drive a forklift.
Pay your money, fill out a form, and you're a medical director. That has to change.
This is horrific.
This is not just an Arizona problem. It's a nationwide problem. And if you think it's not happening in your backyard, you're mistaken.
Okay, sorry. Can we just go back to the penis wine for a second? Do they stomp on dicks the way they stomp on grapes? Are they squeezing out the penis, or are they just fermenting it?
I don't know. And I'm really not sure I want to know.
No one should have their dead body violated, or their genitals turned into a tasty beverage. If people are gonna donate, they should at least know exactly what they're getting themselves into. They need to know the truth.
Until Arizona puts regulations in place, all we can do is offer competing services. Introducing GiveRonnieYourBody.com. Just give me your body, and we'll take care of the rest.
With us, you'll know exactly what you're getting. We provide services such as
be turned into a human ventriloquist dummy, be used for Weekend at Bernie's sequels, literal body pillow, be filled at the Oscars.
Those are just some of the many things we can do.
Sound horrifying? You betcha. But it's also perfectly legal until Arizona changes its laws.
GiveRonnieYourBody.com.
Give me your body. I want your body.
Ronnie Chang is unlicensed and has no experience in this field, which is not a problem in the state of Arizona. So avoid this service altogether and do your research or donate to medical centers.